All right, let's talk about fertility. For so many people, it's this deeply personal and honestly often really overwhelming struggle. But what if we've been looking at it all wrong? What if this isn't some kind of personal failing, but a modern problem? A problem with a clear action plan? Let's dive in. First, I just want you to get a sense of the scale of what we're talking about. In the US, for couples who are trying for their very first child, 1 in 5 of them will face infertility. I mean, stop and think about that. That's 20%. This is not some rare fringe issue. It's a major health concern that's affecting more and more of us every single year. And right out of the gate, we've got to clear up a massive misconception. For way, way too long, the focus, the pressure, the blame for fertility has been put squarely on women. But the data is crystal clear. The factors that contribute to infertility are split right down the middle, 50-50. It's not a male problem, it's not a female problem, it's a couples issue. It is a shared journey, and the science backs that up 100%. So if this is happening more and more, you've got to ask, what's behind it? What's changed? All the evidence is pointing to something new, something that's happening right now in our modern world that's impacting both men and women in ways we're really only just starting to fully grasp. Okay, and the data on the male side is, well, it's pretty shocking. In the last 50 years, global sperm rates have dropped by nearly 50%, and that decline is actually getting faster. This isn't just some gentle slope, it's a cliff, a dramatic drop that lines up perfectly with the massive changes in our lifestyle and our environment. But hey, this is not just a male issue, not by a long shot. We're seeing these parallel trends happening with female fertility too. We're seeing more and more diagnoses of things like low ovarian reserve and even premature menopause. So whatever is going on, it's affecting all of us. The big question is, what is it? While the answer, according to a whole lot of growing research, really points to one central culprit, a kind of hidden hijacker that is silently messing with our body's most important systems. And that culprit is chronic inflammation. Now, when I say inflammation, you're probably thinking about, a swollen ankle or a bee sting. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about a low-grade, persistent, body-wide state of alert. This chronic inflammation is the root cause that completely messes with the hormone signals coming from your brain, and it directly damages the health and the quality of both eggs and sperm. This really says it perfectly. Think about that word, hijacking. Inflammation isn't just some background noise. It's an active force. It's a hijacker that's taking over and interfering with your body's ability to do what it was designed to do. Okay, I know this might all be sounding a little heavy, maybe a bit grim, but this is the crucial turning point. This is the good news. While you can't change your age and you can't change the number of eggs you have, you absolutely can influence their quality. The research is showing us that the metabolic health of your eggs, their cellular energy, it isn't set in stone. You have way more control than you might think. So, if inflammation is the problem, what's the solution? Well, it's not some magic pill, that's for sure. It's about a real comprehensive approach that gets to the root cause. It's about building a solid foundation of health based on 5 key pillars. These are the big 5, the things you can actually control: your sleep, your stress, your muscle, your diet, and your exposure to toxins. By really focusing on these pillars, you can actively start lowering inflammation and creating a much healthier hormonal environment in your body. So let's start with the one that people usually put last, but honestly, it should be first. Sleep. It is the foundation. For your hormonal health, it is absolutely non-negotiable. Why? Because sleep is when your body naturally heals from inflammation. It's when your hormones get a much-needed reset. It's when your body improves its insulin sensitivity. So if you're trying to conceive aiming for a consistent 7 to 9 hours a night, that isn't a luxury. It's the most powerful first step you can possibly take. Now, just as important as the good stuff you add to your routine is the stuff you take out. Our modern world is just littered with what I call lifestyle landmines, these common chemicals and habits that are directly adding to the inflammatory burden on our bodies. And some of the biggest offenders are these things called endocrine disruptors. It's a fancy name for chemicals that literally disrupt your endocrine system, your hormones. And they are everywhere: BPA and phthalates in plastics, PFCs in your nonstick cookware, and a really huge one, fragrance. That's a catch-all term that can hide thousands of different chemicals in everything from your soap and perfume to your laundry detergent. Okay, the key here is not to get overwhelmed and just throw in the towel. The goal is to make simple, small changes. Just start with the things you're exposed to every single day. Filter your water. Swap out that old nonstick pan for stainless steel or glass. Here's a huge one. Never ever microwave your food in plastic. And when you get takeout, take 10 seconds to transfer it onto a real plate right away. These little changes really add up to lower your body's total toxic burden. Let's just be really direct about this one. Alcohol is inflammatory. Period. When you drink, you're basically giving your body an extra unnecessary job to do. It has to stop what it's doing and divert all these resources to process and clear out that alcohol, taking its focus away from really important tasks, like regulating your hormones. If your goal is to lower inflammation, this is a really obvious one to cut back on or just get rid of. The evidence on cannabis is also getting clearer and much more direct. For men, we're seeing it linked to lower testosterone and lower sperm production. And here's a fascinating one. It's also linked to an increased risk of miscarriage for his partner, even if she doesn't use it. For women, it can actually downregulate those super important signals from the brain that control ovulation. And, this brings us to what is maybe the most important mindset shift of all. Tackling this modern fertility problem, it's not something one person can do alone. And it's not something they should do alone. It really requires a totally new approach, one that's built on partnership. This is the new way to think. Fertility is a team sport. If the contributing factors are 50-50, then the solutions have to be 50-50 too. Both partners need to be all in on these lifestyle changes, supporting each other to build a healthier foundation, together. And while this is absolutely a team effort, male partners have this incredible, almost superpower-like opportunity to make a huge impact, and fast. The sperm regeneration cycle is only about 90 days. Think about that. That means positive lifestyle changes, better diet, less alcohol, better sleep, can translate into healthier sperm in just a few months. That makes their participation not just supportive, but incredibly effective. So we'll leave you with this thought. Fertility isn't just something that happens to you. It's really an extension of your overall health. And your health, that's just the sum of all your daily choices. The power to influence it is right there, in your hands. So the question isn't just, can I get pregnant, but a much bigger one. Are the choices I'm making today, right now, building the foundation for the family I hope to build tomorrow?